Hello, my name is Chantel Johnson, and I was a part of the freshman seminar away this summer in Ireland. A really, really exciting time, and it was a way for me to be like, okay, I did all these things that people, all my friends back home would be telling me to do, getting used to all the all the differences that are that are in Ireland and experiencing it all, not just being in my room all day. Even though I did at that time I did have a lot of work to catch up on. It was a lot, but I still made sure that I participated and did all the things that made the experience of traveling abroad so fun. So I took the Live the Experience mantra from Ireland and applied it to MSU. Coming here, I was really, really excited for participation. That's why I was so bummed when it got postponed because of the rain. But I made it a point to get out to participation at the Breslin, and I went out and I saw all the organizations and things I could be a part of, and I signed up for a lot, especially since Michigan State is such a large school. There's so many people who share the same interest in, getting out of my dorm, getting out of my room, and just connecting with those types of people. For me, that is what living the experience is about.
My name is Louise Steele, and I went on the freshman seminar abroad to Ireland over the summer. I remember one night specifically, we were in Cork, and there was a group of 5 or so of us girls, and we were getting dinner. I think it was at McDonald's, and we kind of ran into this topic of conversation of how the Irish perceived us, because we were spending our whole time perceiving the Irish and trying to figure out how they were, but we were like, wait a minute, how do we sound to them? How do they view us? So we started talking to these girls near us who were about our age about how we sounded and how they thought of us. And then we just started talking about college and university and where to go in the town and their school system. And it was really interesting to talk to people of our age and our demographic and see how they viewed the world and how they viewed Ireland and their school system. And that definitely translated to when we got to Michigan State with not only all the international students and the people from other places around the country, but definitely for me personally with my roommate, she's an international student from Brazil. So it really helped me learn to bridge the gap between cultures and try to understand better how she's viewing school and how she's viewing Michigan as a place in general. It really helped me be able to step back and view our culture through a different lens, through a foreigner's lens, and try to see how others are perceiving us as well as how we are perceiving them.
Hi, my name is Tyler McSanick. I'm a biochemistry and molecular biology major, and I had the opportunity to go on a freshman seminar abroad to Italy this past summer. The trip to Italy was truly one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences where you're doing things that you know that you just might never get the opportunity to again. But I also think that going to Italy really helped me out socially here at Michigan State. I'm an out-of-state student, so while a lot of people were coming here with dozens of friends from high school, I knew a lot less people on campus. Whether it's something as simple as going out to lunch with new friends or getting gelato after lunch because I really like to eat, the people that you're with are the only people who know the language you do, and you're also with them all the time, so it's really easy to bond.
And we go back. So we started walking on the street, and then it's definitely hailing right now. We got a lot of people. Yeah. We got it. Onward and upward. Woo!
And then when you actually get on campus later on, you suddenly have this social support group. And in the first week on campus, we had a bunch of us, all from our freshman seminar abroad to Italy trip. We all got together and just had lunch one day. And it was nice on one of those first couple of days when you really don't know anyone and you're overwhelmed to have a group of friends that you can sit down and just eat lunch with again, just like you did in Italy a month ago. And it was really a calming experience.
Hi, I'm Isabel Correa. I'm from Livonia, Michigan. This summer I went on the New Zealand Freshman Seminar Abroad with the Zombie Trek. What I did find was how much harder it was to make friends at MSU. I've been trying to find my place, my niche. We talked about that a couple of times in class. A niche is the place that an animal has in society, the job they have. I haven't found mine yet at MSU. I found mine easily on the trip. I was the planner. I organized trips like Zorbing and a Lord of the Rings tour. It was nice to be needed. Here it's just me, so I don't really have anyone to organize for. Everyone is doing everything on their own because we're all on different time schedules and have different needs. I was prepared for the classes and the workload, but not for how hard it would be to find a place for myself in a campus this large. In this regard, FSA and MSU have been completely flipped in my expectations of them. While I'm extremely enjoying both experiences, they're just different from what I thought, and not necessarily in a bad way. For me personally, I need to get involved more. I need to find a way to find my niche. I joined a couple of clubs like the Honors College Student Advisory Council in the hopes of making some friends and to get some responsibility again. I also just auditioned for a theater show off campus. I love musical theater and have a huge passion for it, so it will be a great way for me to get involved in the community. I think I also need to try not to study in my room alone as much. I'm going to try and make some study groups and maybe make it a little more social to study, because as it is, I'm feeling very confident and comfortable with the classwork. I would just like to study with some people.
I'm Reese Haller, and I was a participant in the 2014 Freshman Study Abroad program to New Zealand. One way in which my freshman study abroad experience has changed the way in which I think and act at Michigan State is through the way that I think about other people and their traditions. At MSU, I feel more inclined to step out of my comfort zone and take some risks in talking to and getting to know people who are different from me so that I can better understand the traditions and perspectives of other people and other cultures. I learned this in New Zealand through the Maori, who are the indigenous tribes of New Zealand. The traditional Maori greeting is one that initially seemed very strange to me. They come together and shake hands, and then they touch forehead, nose, and then take a breath together. And when we were first meeting the Maori, each person in our group had to perform this greeting ritual, and it seemed very odd to us, and we were a little bit taken aback. But once we relaxed and opened up to the idea of greeting in this different way from ourselves, we felt more accepted, and we were better able to understand the traditions and ideas of the Maori. And this same idea can be applied at MSU by simply being open to other people's ideas.
Hi, I'm Valerie Russell. I'm from Milford, Michigan, which is about an hour away from East Lansing. I'm a freshman studying in James Madison College. And last summer, I went on the freshman study abroad to South Africa. Choosing to study abroad was by far the biggest risk I have ever taken in my academic career, and it pushed me so far beyond the perimeters of my comfort zone. And to know that my family and friends would be in a completely different hemisphere as me was so terrifying, so surreal. But it was all worth it, and there were so many rewards that I hadn't even thought about experiencing after studying abroad. Something unique to my personal experience studying abroad was that I chose not to take my cell phone with me whenever I was in South Africa. And that was a huge decision for me, as just like any other teenager. Of course, I love social media. I love doing all of those things. But I wanted to immerse myself in the culture and just all of the experiences in South Africa, and I felt that having my phone with me would limit me. And so I made that decision, and I did not speak with my friends at all during those study abroad couple of weeks. I only got to talk to my family a couple times, and that was whenever I got off the plane, and one time whenever I was in Cape Town. And that was super emotional for me. I mean, to not have, like, my mother's my best friend, and to not be able to talk with her every day and kind of vent about all the things that have happened to me, it was very difficult. But at the same time, now that made my MSU experience so much easier. And knowing that, my mom is totally just a phone call away, and I don't have to worry so much about international fees or any sort of things like that. There are so many less obstacles here in East Lansing than there were in South Africa, and so I know that I've grown accustomed to living away from home.
Hi, my name is Quinn Wetzel. I am from Powell, Wyoming, and I went on the freshman seminar abroad to South Africa. A connection I noticed with my freshman seminar abroad experience was my experience with a man named Eddie Daniels. And Eddie Daniels was a protester during the apartheid era, and he was sentenced to 15 years in prison at Robben Island for sabotage. Robben Island is the same prison that Nelson Mandela was imprisoned in, and so Eddie Daniels and Nelson Mandela spent 15 years of their lives living about 20 feet from each other. So we were lucky enough as travelers to have Eddie Daniels be one of our tour guides at Robben Island. And he's incredible. He is one of the most passionate and humble leaders we've ever met, and one of the most dedicated leaders. Several times he was offered the opportunity to get out of prison if he denounced his ideals, his morals. If he said that he didn't believe in these protests, he would be released. And he stuck to his morals and his ideals, and he said, no, I am going to stay true to myself and to my cause, and as long as the apartheid era is still standing, I will still be in prison. One thing he said while we were there just really stuck out to me, and he said, every day is an opportunity to make a lasting positive effect on another person. So for me, that just really stuck out as something that everyone could do a better job of. He is such a genuine leader and such a caring person, and I just try and incorporate that into my everyday life now. That's something that, like, every time you see somebody, you walk by somebody, you interact with someone at the cafeteria, you try and be as friendly as possible, because that may be their only positive interaction for the day. And I just try and make sure that every time I interact with someone that I'm friendly, I'm polite, and I'm leaving a positive impression on another person. Even on my worst days, I realize, like, Eddie Daniels spent 15 years in prison, and he still manages to smile, to be the most positive and upbeat and caring person I've ever met. And my life is completely easy in every way in comparison to his. And so I should have no problem being positive and friendly and leaving a lasting impression on everyone.